Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson. And coming up on today's show, I've got 5 breakout candidates for your Cleveland Browns. So let's dive into the first one without waiting at all. David Njoku is my first breakout candidate. I know it's a little bit of a stretch, but I think when you got someone like Deshaun Watson and you've only amassed nearly 1,700 yards, you get to be a breakout candidate even in year 6, right? It's just a bit outside. How can you really break out in year 6? I don't know, Jim, but I'll give it to Njoku because we haven't really seen a full season of a first-round pick out of him. We've seen enough flashes, I think, to give him that franchise tag, and with the belief of Deshaun Watson, who, by the way, has just never played with a ton of great tight ends, so it'll be interesting to see how he meshes with Njoku. But if you think David Njoku will have a great year, let's show the guy some love. Let's get his jersey number going in the chat right now, 85, because here's why. You better believe players in the NFL, we've seen it before, they admit, like Baker in his interview, in the podcast, the You Never Know podcast, is like, yeah, of course I'm name searching. So you better believe Njoku's name searching. He's going to pop across this video, and he's like, damn, Dog Pound showing me some love. I might just take a hometown discount to stay in Cleveland and save some money for a different free agent. I don't know. Maybe not. But here are my stat projections for Njoku in 2022. This is unfair to you guys. 60 receptions for 650 yards and 4 touchdowns. I'm never a huge fan of projections like in fantasy football because I have no idea. But I just went off of, hey, what has he done before in his career? And what have tight ends done with Deshaun Watson? And can we put those two pieces of pie together and end up with a full pie? So that's what I got going on for our friend Njoku. My next breakout candidate, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I hope the entire NFL knows how to pronounce this guy's name flawlessly after 2022 because he is going to rise to the scene. I've got no doubt about it, okay? In fact, I've got a lot of things to say about JOK, but I've got a bold prediction right off the top. JOK makes the Pro Bowl. Everyone knows who he is after this season. Not just Browns fans and not just teams that play the Browns and go, who's that 28 guy? Like, how have I never heard of him? Oh, you don't watch much football. No, it's okay. JOK, he's going to be a household name. The league will learn who JOK is. The Dog Pound knows all about him, knows all too well that he is an awesome athletic linebacker who plays from sideline to sideline. He had some great moments last season. Remember that awesome game against the Bears at home in what was that, week 3, week 4? JOK went off. He had 1.5 sacks last year in 14 games. Didn't have an injury mid-season, but got healthy after that. 3 tackles for loss. This is a player who just has that big play potential to him. His quickness and athleticism to just burst through the gap and get into the backfield and blow up a play is what I love about him. The Browns have not had a franchise linebacker since, I would say, DeQuell Jackson, and we're approaching a decade at this point. I would really love to see JOK be that next guy and help form a 3-headed monster of a defense with Myles Garrett on the defensive line, JOK at the next level, and Denzel Ward in the secondary. Those 3 guys for a future Browns defense, that's scary. If those are your 3 pillars and you move some other guys around as contracts expire and you bring new rookies in, but you keep that core together, this is going to be an awesome defense. So rate the Browns defense for me. What are you feeling? 1 to 100. 1 being you're a Ravens fan. There's just no way you give him a 1. I shouldn't even, producer Marshall shouldn't even put the 1 on the screen. 100 being, this is going to be 100 on Madden. Like, this is going to be the best defense in NFL history. I'm leaning like 88. I'm almost at 90, but I want to let him work up to 90. Okay. Next breakout candidate, keeping it on the defensive side of things, Grant Delpit, the third-year now safety, missed his entire rookie season, but last season we saw what we all were waiting for after being a second-round pick the year before, but the Achilles injury derailed his rookie year. Anywho, I think a huge season is coming for Grant Delpit. All right, I think you take what you saw last year, and there was a lot to like what you saw out of him last year, okay? And then you apply that to what the direction of football is going in the NFL. There's a lot to get excited about when it comes to Delpit. I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. But here at Chat Sports, we are all about competition. And we're not only on YouTube, we're also on Rumble, which is another video platform service. And the Browns Report is second in the standings. Now, we've got the Giants on our tail, but I want to cross over 2,000, and I want to reach the Chiefs. So subscribe if you're like me and you're still a little salty and, rent-free of that Week 1 loss against KC last year by going to rumble.com/Browns Report. Going back to Delpit, Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator, his scheme is going to benefit Delpit so nice. Because like I said, the direction of the NFL is we don't need 3 stiff linebackers on the field. We want fast, athletic guys. And so let's take a linebacker off and toss in an extra safety. That extra safety is Delpit. Last year he had an interception, 3 tackles for loss, had a sack to go with it as well, 3 pass deflections, and the Pro Football Focus grades for Delpit, for a guy that wasn't even a starter for half of the season, I'll take 49 out of 92 where he ranked. Overall, 63.8. I like PFF. Don't drown in it, though. Don't think it's the only way. I had to tell someone about that on Twitter. But there's a lot of great ways to evaluate players, and PFF is one of them. It's not the only way, though. But I think Delpit is going to have an awesome year and have a true breakout season. If you agree with me, or if you just want more Browns coverage, whether it's free, news, rumors, whatever it may be, we've got it all on the daily here. Hit that big red button, join the channel, and join one of the fastest, if not the fastest growing Browns YouTube channel out there by subscribing today. Yeah, I had to go cliche. I had to go chalk. Breakout candidate number 4, it's Donovan Peoples-Jones. You don't do a breakout candidates video, right, if you don't include DPJ. All right. To me, this feels like a make or break season for DPJ. And maybe that's a bit of an overreaction because the guy was a day 3 pick who's entering his 3rd season. So I feel like we all have really high expectations for someone who wasn't even like a first-round draft pick. But it does feel like, hey, right now you control your destiny on the depth chart. Like, you are wide receiver 2. You're going to get way more targets. I bet you're going to get more targets this year than in your first 2 years combined. But do you think DPJ will have a true breakout season? We'll check out some stats and numbers in just a second. But get your votes in first. Y for yes or N for no if you think Donovan Peoples-Jones has a true breakout season. In his career thus far through 2 seasons, 48 receptions, 901 yards, 5 touchdowns to go along with it. I'm expecting he doubles that almost this season. I mean, I think receptions-wise, my projections for DPJ in 2022, 51, 3 more in his career combined, 3 more in his career. He matches his touchdown total with 5, 789 yards. There's going to be a lot of weapons on this team, a lot of mouths to feed between Njoku and Cooper, himself and Schwartz and David Bell. So I think Deshaun Watson's going to spread the ball around a ton. But I'll go with that. I'd be pretty happy with those numbers for a day 3 pick in year number 3. Ultimately, there's no one I'm rooting for more on this list than Donovan Peoples-Jones. Maybe you're with me on this. I just want to see this guy succeed very badly. All right? I loved him coming to the Browns out of Michigan. Sorry, Buckeyes fans. But this is a player who I've had high expectations for. He was great in preseason and training camp last year. He was the star of preseason and training camp. Then Baker got hurt, so you never really got to see much of any wide receiver last year to the fullest potential. I hope he has an awesome 2022 season. My 5th and final breakout candidate, it's Jedrick Wills. I don't get me wrong, this is not a Jedrick Wills has been underperforming, but just give me 17 healthy, good games out of Wills. And it's been out of his control. The reoccurring ankle injuries suck. You hate to see that. That's not something he has control over. But I want to see this guy have a complete and solid season and be the 10th overall pick that he was and not look too worse for going before Tristan Wirfs. Last year, according to Pro Football Focus, he was kind of middle of the pack. 52 out of 83 for tackles. Better in pass protection than run blocking, and that's fine. That's what your left tackle is supposed to be. 66.1 overall. These aren't bad numbers. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's been a bust. But I want to see that 52 out of 83 turn into 25 out of 83. If you guys love the Browns, or if you just want to show some support to the channel here, hit that thumbs up icon to like today's show. I greatly appreciate everyone that has tuned in and made the Cleveland Browns Report a part of your day today. So let's end the video with this note. Who will have a breakout season? I got 5 names out there. You want to roll with one of my guys? Happy to have you along. One of us join the show. Or if you want to go outside the box, if you want to think of a different name like Demetric Felton. That's a sleeper right there. All right. Let me know who your breakout candidate is for the Cleveland Browns down below.